One of the future predictions regarding the times of Mashiach is that everyone will become Nevi'im, prophets. We have a famous pasuk that Eibishter will pour out His Spirit, Eshbech Esruchi al Kol Basar, that all people, Nibu B'nechem Neisechem, the sons and the daughters of the Jewish people, and even Goyim, according to some opinions, will become prophets. Now, there's something unique about the prophecy of the future regarding the prophecy that we have now. We all know that in the levels of prophets, there are different levels of prophecy, and the highest level of prophecy is the prophecy of Moshe Rabbeinu. The Rambam writes that Moshe Rabbeinu's prophecy was unique, that other prophets, when they would get their prophecy, they would go into a trance, they would lose their bodily senses, they would only see prophecy at times that they prepared themselves for, and they would see prophecy through a intermediary, through a vision, they didn't understand. They would have to see the message the way it was enclosed within a parable or something, and through that they understood the message. But Moshe Rabbeinu was the highest level of prophecy. He got prophecy whenever he wanted to. He saw the image, he saw the message directly, clearly. He was able to stay awake, and his body was able to contain the revelation without the body losing itself. So we know that the Rambam writes that even Mashiach will only be a Navi Karev L'Moshe Rabbeinu. Even the prophecy of Mashiach, which will be very great, will only be close to the level of Moshe. It won't reach the level of Moshe itself. However, we find the interesting point that's mentioned, the Ramban and Sha'ar HaGemul mentions a similar idea, and it's mentioned in Chassidus a number of times, that after Tchias HaMesim, the future period, the later periods of Mashiach, even a regular Jew will reach the level of prophecy of Moshe Rabbeinu. And in a certain sense, he will even reach a higher level of prophecy than Moshe Rabbeinu. Because when Mashiach comes, the bodies of all the Jewish people, after Tchias HaMesim, the second period of Mashiach, the bodies of all the Yidden will become so refined that they'll be able to be on the same level of Moshe Rabbeinu, that received the prophecy, and his body was able to contain it. Furthermore, we find by Moshe Rabbeinu that we know that what was unique about his prophecy is that he said it by the preface of Zeh HaDavar, this is the thing that Hashem commanded me. He saw it directly. Other prophets used the terms Koyam Ar Hashem. Hashem said something like this. It wasn't as clear and direct as Moshe Rabbeinu's prophecy. However, regarding the times of the future, we find the pasuk where the pasuk says twice Zeh. Hine Lekeinu Zeh, V'amar B'yom Hahu, Hine Lekeinu Zeh Kivinu Lei V'Yishayenu Zeh Hashem Kivinu Lei. The pasuk says twice Zeh. And Chassidus explains that this is an illusion, that the level of prophecy, of revelation of godliness that will be when Mashiach will come, which is expressed by the double Zeh, is even greater than the Zeh HaDavar, the one-time Zeh that Moshe Rabbeinu had. Another element that highlights the uniqueness of the prophecy in the future is what Chassidus explains, that in order to receive prophecy beforehand in the times of the Nevi'im, the Navi had to make certain preparations. And there were certain conditions. A person had to be in a very great level, a physical and spiritual level, and he had to prepare himself and meditate, and then he would get prophecy, which means that prophecy wasn't a regular natural thing. A person wants to eat or drink, whatever it is, just a natural occurrence. Prophecy was a revelation that was supernatural, so to say. People had it, but it was something that had certain conditions. It wasn't as straightforward as physical nature. Similarly, when Yidden went to the Beis HaMikdash, we know that every Yid saw godliness when he went to the Beis HaMikdash. That there were 10 miracles that took place in the Beis HaMikdash. When they came to the Beis HaMikdash, it says they saw the Eibishter, whatever that means, they experienced godliness. But nevertheless, the experience of godliness that was in the Beis HaMikdash was not as straightforward, as simple, as direct as the experience of Gashmias. The simple proof is that a person only experienced it when he was in the Beis HaMikdash, and he walked outside of the Beis HaMikdash. The world still remained the way it was. The unique advantage of the days of Mashiach is that then godliness will be revealed b'derech pshitus. It will be as direct, it will be as natural as Gashmis is to us today. The same way our physical eye sees physical things, when Mashiach will come, the very nature of the eye, the physical eye itself will perceive godliness. There won't be any need for special conditions. Prophecy won't only appear to certain people or after certain preparations are made. You won't have to be in a special place to receive the message. The whole world will be, godliness will become one with the world. in a direct way, the same way a person today, Chassidus says, is Eilumis b'pshitas olakus b'schachus, a person's experience of Gashmis is direct, whereas his experience of godliness is like a second thing. It's a schachus, it's a new thing. It's not as simple and direct as a straightforward experience of Gashmis. When Mashiach will come, godliness will be b'derech pshitas in a straightforward way. So the way we prepare for this is obviously, the Rebbe says that already before the coming of Mashiach, we have a certain me'ain, that there's a revelation of godliness through the through that was revealed to the Baal Shem Tov, to the Rebbeim, which was a certain prophecy, a certain revelation of the future. And through learning the words of Chassidus and through training ourselves to see in everything in the world that its real entity is that this is godliness, it's Einid Muvade, it's only there to reveal godliness, this prepares us for the revelation of the future. May it happen, take it from Yad Mamash.